Okay, so welcome back, people. Today I'm going to be doing a rollerball fountain pen. So first I have two different pieces of acrylic. They're the same color and they're both black. The weird thing about these is they weren't square, so they were like rectangle shaped because they were like a little weird or something. So I had them already measured out and everything. So after that, then I get to cutting. So yeah. So I was cutting with one hand and then cutting with the other one, or holding the camera, whatever, it's the same thing. And then I told my cousin to hold it. That's why you see his feet in the frame. So then I cut the other piece. But when you cut them, you want to cut them straight. So now I'm going to drill the holes into these pieces of acrylic. So the bottom one, it's a 25/64 drill bit, and for the cap is a 15/32 drill bit. So the cap is a little bit thicker by like a few millimeters. So yeah. So it's thicker because it's the cap and the other part goes into it, you know what I mean? So yeah, so the first I do the bottom half because it's the drill bit's smaller as well, like in length wise. So yeah, so I just put it into the mandrel, or not the mandrel, to the chuck of the drill press, and then as you see I'm cleaning it while I'm drilling a hole through it. When you're doing this you want to go slow because if you go fast you'll like mess it up. And then I have to adjust the plate on the drill press, and then I repeat the process. So when you're doing this you don't want to do it like fast or anything because you'll burn the acrylic or you'll shatter it, it'll break. And then these already, I had sanded them before, so pretty much when you sand them you just grab a piece of sandpaper, twist it around, and you're pretty much done. So now you grab your tube and you apply glue on it and you spin it around. So when you do that you get like an equal spread of the glue on there, and then you twist it around. I know I kind of went out of frame. You twist it around and you insert it into the piece of acrylic, and then you repeat the process with the other one. And sometimes you just do it once because of the style of pen, like the hourglass pen in my last video. I just did that one once because it was only one piece. And then I accidentally put my arm in the frame, and then you couldn't really see what I was doing. But usually I'll push it in with the other piece if I don't want to get glue on my fingers, because when you get that glue on your fingers it dries really quick and then you're just there like, you know, and it sucks. So I'm going to be using a 15/32 pen reamer, so that cleans out the inside of the tube. And then I'm going to be using a 25/64 reamer. And then the cutter head is adaptable to like the bigger size reamers. So I have to repeat this process 4 times, twice for each piece of acrylic. And yeah, so that's the cutter head, the thing that I'm messing with the little Allen key. So now I insert the reamer into the cutter head. So the cutter head cleans off the outside or excess that you have, and the reamer cleans the inside. So if there's glue on the inside, it cleans that out. And then I just repeat this process. So when you're doing it, you don't want to go too far, and you have to pay attention on how you're doing it, because if you do it too fast or you do it too hard, you'll shrink the tube. Like you'll cut into it and you'll make it smaller than what it needs to be, and then when you make the pen it won't fit, or yeah, it won't fit, and then the pen will be popping off and like just falling apart and stuff. So yeah, so I repeat this process 4 times, as I said it like probably 4 times. And then you'll see me cleaning it off after I do it, and then you'll see me go for a little bit and then pick it up, and then I'll go back down. If I need to do it again. So sometimes it's just a little quick little, you know, just tap and then it goes back up. And then there's other times where you have to do it a little bit longer because of how deep it is. So as you can see, both of these are cleaned out. You see the little circle that's from the cutter head, and then as well as the other piece. So now I have to switch out the reamer and take off the cutter head. So I have to take it off because it's a different thickness, and if I use that same reamer in the cutter head, it won't really work because it won't stay centered and it might come out wobbly. So then I have to take off the cutter head from the reamer and repeat the process. So this is the other reamer that I'm going to be using. Okay, so now I have my Metro pen, what are it called? Bushings. Metro fountain pen bushings. So these are for like that style of fountain pen. So like the Rollerball, the regular fountain pen, the other kind of fountain pen, and like, yeah. So I put them on. When you put these on, there's like 3 different sizes. There's 2 for the bottom, but those are different, and then 2 for the top, and those are the same. So then you align it the way you want it. So then, yeah, so for these I just take off all the other bushings that I have. The 7mm bushings are the ones that I use for the just slimline or just regular pens that I make. And then when I was doing this at first, I had put it on there, and then I had to when I was trying to tighten it, I grabbed it, and when I tightened it, it like cut my finger open. Kind of hurt a little bit. So yeah, and then I had to put a band-aid on, but I was okay. So then, yeah, and then I dropped the little things on my leg, bro. So I was there struggling, you know. So now I finally got it, and now I adjust the back piece. So you tighten it, I needed to put a bushing. I had forgot. So you see what happens when you're not paying attention? It's like, yep. I'm kidding. Okay, so usually what I do is I'll leave 1 bushing, and then I'll take the second bushing and put it on the very, very end. So after I put both pieces of the pen on there. So then I got both pieces on there. So now I am going to put I forgot what that back piece is called. It's so that it doesn't shake and it holds it steady. So now I got that on there, and now it is time to start. So I started cleaning it little by little, and I started using the square one. So the tool that I'm using is a Recon, and it comes with 3 different kinds of tips. So it comes with a circle one, a squared, and like a diamond. So, and they're all carbide. So like the carbide is a really strong alloy, so it's like a mix of metals. So yeah, so start cutting at it, and then with these you have to be real careful because they'll break. So this one broke, so I had to fix it, and then I tried fixing it, but it didn't work. So then I grabbed a little excess piece, and I ended up just fixing the back, so it kept falling off. So then I just left it alone. I cleaned up that little piece, and then as you can see, I'm using a caliper, so it's a little tool that looks like a claw type deal. to measure how thick it is. And then I tried gluing it back on there. I tried messing with it and then it didn't work. So I just worked at it a little more, and then so what I did was like added a little piece of, so as you see I'm cleaning it on that little back piece. So then I grabbed what was it called, like one of the excess pieces that I cut off. So as you can see, I'm scraping it down all the way on the very back, and then I added another piece. There's a little gap, so what I did was I cleaned it up. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can fix the pins, and now it has that little line in the back, and it's like, you know, just a little touch, you know, a little design type, you know what I mean? It looks pretty cool. Like, you know, like it's one of those styles that, like, say you do something, you mess up on it, and then you just make it look even better than it did before. So now I'm buffing it out. I use the 9 micro meshes, and now it's time to assemble it. So you assemble it the same way as you do the fountain pens. So you grab the little tube, you put the little black piece in there, and then the bottom one, and then you just squeeze it all together. And then you grab a clamp or your little press that you use to put these together. So at the time I only had this little what is it called again? Not vice, this little clamp. So I just used a clamp for the pens, right? So that was kind of sucked sometimes because it was a little hard to do it. So that's the top, and then now time to do the bottom. So the bottom is, I think, 2 pieces. Yeah, 2 pieces. So I just put those 2 on there, and then yeah, so you put those both on there and you squeeze it all the way till it's flush on both sides to it. So that's in, so that's done. So then you grab your little you grab the spring and you drop it inside of there, and then oops, oh, I dropped it. Then you put the spring inside, drop it in the back, and then you grab your ink cartridge and you put it in there. So yeah, and then now you grab the tip of the pen and you screw it on there. The reason why you put the spring in the back is so that it pushes it forward. So yeah, so that's a Rollerball fountain pen, and that's the cap. So that's how it came out. It's really beautiful, and yep, it's pretty cool. And then this is a close-up of the beautiful pen that I made. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe.